everybody. Thanks for coming back. Let's go paint the desert. You're going to love this one. It's got great colors, great banding, and it's a lot of fun to paint. I'm starting out with phthalo blue and a pretty good swath of it there. Using the wider tool a lot in this painting that comes in your kit, it makes, for making those big wide swaths of gorgeous color, this tool really works very well. Make sure you get your edges. Do it now because it's easier to do it right that minute when you're in the middle of the spreading. So right underneath it, I'm putting a good fair amount of that violet, which is fabulous. Now we're just going to blend that together. We don't want a whole lot of definition here. We just want color banding. Now, permanent red. We're not really wiping off the knife in between either because we want those smears to happen. We want the transfer of colors. And we'll work all the colors together. And what I've developed over time with this particular type of sky is that it is really a left and right across the canvas with a little bit of a pull down, through each wipe. And that really spreads the color and mixes it very well and still leaves selling and lacing and wonderful things to happen. So you can see I'm doing that again here. And I've used pearl and the deep yellow, and I threw in some gold too. Now I'm just gonna, basically pollute the yellow gold pearl with some of the red, and we're just grabbing it right out of the canvas and bringing it right straight down and just working it in. In the end, this gives us a banding of a sunset sky with depth. So you just work yours, and you decide where your cloud banks are. I'm using pearl again here because it mixes wonderfully with the red and the yellow, and it preserves the gold, which gives you a wonderful sparkly finish to your cloud layers. And then a little bit of clouds here. You can see it picks up that beautiful violet color, and then we just spread it back and forth. It's really just like frosting a cake. It's really easy. And of course, you put your clouds wherever you want them. And this is the lowest bank of clouds, which will be behind the sand. And because it's going to be behind the sand, it'll have a real glowy effect, and like the sun is really brilliantly setting. So we're going to actually sit a sun in here in a second. I'm going to give you a close-up look of what it looks like so far. See, you've got some selling and some lacing there, and picking it up and moving it around disrupts that back and forth straight line a little bit and gives you a more natural look to it all. Because, not all clouds are straight across the sky. We do have a lot more of that now in our skies, but it looks better if you do a little bit more natural. And here comes the sun. So it's just a dot. I used pearl at the bottom, a small spot of gold, and a little dot of the bright yellow. I'm going to let that sit for a little while and work on other things and just kind of foots around and move my clouds and where I think the light from that sun is going to be falling on the clouds and reflecting off the ones above it. And while I'm waiting for the sun to kind of settle and move to the place it wants to be, then I can come back in a second here and just touch it, and it'll stay exactly where I want it. Now, that's a technique where you just add the paint to the back of your knife and put it where you want it. And there you go. You can see where I just touched it with a little bit of pearl so it glows. And that's pretty much it for the sun. Don't mess with it too much, and we don't want to move too much. Let it sit. The sand ribbon is easy. It's just black and gold and raw sienna, and that's it. There's nothing really fancy in it, but the selling is fantastic here. And you want that dark black to be at the top of your horizon line. Now we're going to just move this a little bit, really quickly, so that the sun and the sky doesn't move too much. And we just want it to barely cover. There we go. Now move everything back to where we wanted it. Okay. Now this is the fun part. It looks good already. You could stop right here if you're happy. But of course, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make some hills and some valleys and make it look like the sand has been blown, all day, and it's moved into all these little hills. Things are darker and when they're closer to you in paintings and in pictures, you'll notice. So that's why things get a little bit darker as you get closer. It gives your painting depth and it extends your horizon line, so it makes everything look, right. And here you're going to have, I'm going to come up here and show you a close-up of what I'm doing, because it's really beautiful to watch this paint move. The black comes up through the gold and it creates just really gorgeous little effects. And we're just adding some grass, some grasses that are blowing. And it's a really easy thing. You just take the tip of your knife and pull up. Here, let me show you a little closer. There you go. See, it's just straight up, and then a couple of them are going to have like bent tops. So that makes it look more natural, like grass. And it's always better to do things in threes or in odd numbers, not even. It just looks better compositionally. See? And that just gives you this feeling like the grass is blowing in the wind and it's really warm and it's been a beautiful day at the dunes. Maybe there's a rock over here. Yeah, see, you could do whatever you want with your dunes. I'm sure they're turning out amazing. And again, this paint dries so glossy and so rich, it's just going to blow your mind. It looks almost wet when it's dry. So I hope you're having fun with your desert painting, and I'm sure it's looking fantastic. The next thing we're going to do is pretty exciting too, so I can't wait to show it to you. And this is what it looked like wet, and it's gorgeous dry as well. We'll have an image of that here in just a second. Just wanted to give you a close-up. Look at those little tiny micro bubbles. That's what they look like to me. And they're so much fun, and they really bring the painting to life. And there's no additives in our paint or any silicone. It's just Floetrol high-grade paint and a touch of water. And there it is dry. See? It looks just exactly the same. And it is really beautiful when you move past it. The sun glints and glimmers, and the gold in the sand reflects that. And it looks wonderful. So I can't wait to see yours. It's so exciting and so much fun. I hope you're having fun. I am. Up next, we're going to go to the beach and we're painting the ocean, folks. I don't know about you, but the ocean's my favorite place in the world to be. See you there.